This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
A woman is born with all the eggs she will ever have. That's 2 million eggs, but fewer than 500 eggs will be released during her reproductive years. Each month, only one egg matures and it's released into its ovary. No wonder so many women have trouble getting pregnant. But there are ways you can give your eggs the best chance of becoming a bundle of joy.
Want that?
It's all about bottles, balls, and boys for first-time mom Lori Elpers. Even though her time is divided by 2, she has one word to describe life after twins.
Busy.
Lori thought this may never happen. She and her husband tried everything to get pregnant. She suffered one miscarriage.
That really, kind of shook us a little bit.
25% of pregnancies at least end in miscarriage, and the risk of miscarriage increases with age.
A woman is most fertile between ages 20 and 24. A healthy 30-year-old has a 20% chance a month to get pregnant. By 35, the quality of eggs begins to decline significantly.
Women, for example, that are over 40 can have a 1 in 3 chance of miscarriage, a 30% or more higher chance of pregnancy loss.
Pregnancies conceived with older eggs have up to 1,000 times higher risk of having chromosomal abnormalities, which can lead to Down syndrome. Once you know your risks, do you know the 5 fertility game changers you can do now to boost your chances of getting and staying pregnant? First, calories count. A recent study found it took women twice as long to get pregnant when they had a pre-pregnancy BMI of 25 to 39. Foods that help fertility include protein-rich foods such as meat, fish, eggs, and beans. Cut back on caffeine. A report in the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology found that women who drank 2 cups of coffee a day were twice as likely to miscarry than those who didn't drink any. And you should get more of this in your life. According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, some lubricants can actually decrease fertility. They say use canola oil instead. Even peanut oil will do. And lay off the cigarettes. Not only do they damage a woman's eggs, but they also cause ovaries to age. That means the ovaries of a 35-year-old smoker function as if they belong to a 42-year-old. As for Lori, Dr. Agarwal was able to help with IVF.
I introduced him to my parents as the man who got me pregnant.
Or at least helped bring little Noah and Ben into the world.
And watch where your man puts his cell phone. Studies show sperm exposed to radio frequency waves from cell phones in a man's pocket were damaged. Well, there are so many women who do everything right. They stay healthy, don't drink, don't smoke, and have a loving and nurturing family, but still can't get pregnant. Our next guest sees women like this every day. Pam Fleckenstein is a nurse practitioner with the Women's Health Center at PRMC. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. What do you see as the common cause for infertility in women?
Well, there are multiple causes. There's no one specific cause. We look at hormonal issues, the lack of or too much of, and we also look at physical issues like the size and shape of the uterus, if there's any obstructions. We look at the fallopian tubes to make sure there's no blockages there that would prevent fertilization. So there are multiple causes. There's not just one cause of infertility.
Now, what should young women do now to protect their fertility if they want to have children later?
I think the best thing they can do is just make healthy choices in their lifestyle. They should avoid STDs, for one thing. That can cause scarring in the tubes. They should eat properly, healthy diets. I'm not sure if all that protein is absolutely necessary, although it's good. There have been very successful vegetarian pregnancies where they've combined proteins, I think lots of fruits and vegetables. But one of the main things that I tell everyone is to take folic acid during the reproductive years.
Folic acid, is it in our daily vitamins?
Folic acid is in a multivitamin, but to a smaller amount. I usually tell them if they're planning a pregnancy to take 0.4 milligrams or 400 micrograms of folic acid. Now they can also you can buy this over the counter, you can get it by a prescription, but they should include that. Any leafy greens that have folic acid in it. Cereals are also reinforced with extra folic acid a lot of times. But that's important. Don't smoke. and limit your alcohol or no alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if a woman is unsuccessful getting pregnant, when should she consult a doctor?
If she's under age 35, after a year of trying to conceive without any luck, then she should probably start with her OBGYN, and then possibly they would refer them on to a fertility expert. If she's over 35, the time is shorter. 6 months. If she's been trying to conceive for 6 months without success, then is when she should consult a fertility expert.
All right, so we talked about living a healthy lifestyle as a young woman, but what about you decide you want to get pregnant? Are there some things, should you go see the doctor before you start trying? What are things you should do?
I think you should. You need a definite exam. Sometimes they may order an ultrasound if they suspect there's any problems. They may order tests like histosalpingograms, where they inject dye in the tubes to look and make sure that the tubes are open. And they also check male fertility, because 40% of the problem may be the female and 40% can be the male. 10% is a combination of both of them, and then 10% of infertility cases, it's just unexplainable.
What about weight? Should you consider losing weight before you try?
Well, I was looking at the BMI there, and it said 25 to 39. I think if your BMI is 25, 26, you're probably okay. Once your BMI puts you into the obese category, you definitely need to think about losing weight. The fertility experts usually tell heavy women the first thing you need to do is lose weight. And this is because fat cells contain estrogen, an estrogen called estrone. But your body doesn't know estrogen is estrogen. So it turns the ovaries off sometimes when there's excess estrogen. And that could be a very simple cause. You could lose 5% of your body weight and your ovaries would start functioning again.
That's interesting.
Something
now,
as simple as that.
If you're having trouble, you consult the doctor, what are some of the treatment options?
There are a lot of different treatment options, and they usually start with the simplest, which might be introducing sperm directly into the uterus to ensure that there's not a problem with cervical mucus or any kind of disruption there. There are things like IVF, in vitro fertilization, there's embryo transfers. There are a lot of different options, and that would be kind of an individual decision between the couple and their doctor.
Their doctor. Just consult your doctor. Your doctor will help you out there.
They will help.
Right.
He would help you out there, or she would help you out there and give you the best advice.
Pam, good advice. Thank you so much. And of
my
course, if
pleasure.
you would like more information, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. And from our reproductive health to the health of our eyes, October is World Blindness Awareness Month. Did you know there's an increase in blinding eye diseases? What you need to know to keep your eyes healthy, and in keeping with our health, so much of it has to do with what we eat, of course. But doesn't it seem like eating healthy costs a fortune? Dr. Oz says it doesn't have to.
Hello, I'm Dr. Oz. Eating healthy and affordable meals is not as hard as you think. Plan out meals and do one large grocery trip for the week. Pick up fresh vegetables on sale. Blanch and freeze in bags. Buy whole chickens instead of parts. Poach for different dishes. Use beans to stretch a meal and add protein.